Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning into my second YouTube video. I hope that everyone is staying healthy and safe during this difficult time. We are in our second week of social distancing, and I am fortunate enough that I can work from home. I would like to give a big shout out to all the healthcare workers and essential employees who are still at the front lines trying to keep us all safe and provide us with what we need. In this first video that I have here, I'm going to do a tutorial on the single crochet. It is the easiest stitch to learn and is best for beginners. First though, I'm going to make some coffee, and then I do have some work to do, but I will be back with yarn and hook in hand. Okay, so let's get started with the basic stitch, the single crochet. I'm just going to show you that I have my 5mm hook. This is my go-to. I use the 5mm hook a lot when I'm making dishcloths or face scrubbies. And then I have some yellow yarn here, and I also have a stitch marker. This is so that we can keep track of where our last stitch is, because sometimes it can be a little hidden when you're working along, depending on what kind of yarn you're using or different sizes hook. It might also be harder to see. So the first thing we need to do is we need to create a slip knot. So I just create a loop, and then with the tail end I make another loop and pull it up inside that one, and then I grab onto both ends and I just pull on the one side and it'll create a little knot. We'll insert that into the hook, and then I just tighten that on there. Okay, so first we need to create a chain that we're going to work with. So I'm going to do a chain of, I think, 13 so that I can have 12 stitches across. So you yarn over, and then you're going to pull it through that hoop. And then you do it again, yarn over, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then 13. So now we're going to start from the second chain from the hook. So that's typically not the one that's left on your hook. And so this would be your first one here. See that? And then this would be your second. So to do the single crochet, you're just going to insert your hook into the chain, and then you're going to yarn over and pull it back through, and then you're going to yarn over and pull it through both loops. So we'll do that again. So you're going to insert your hook into the chain, and we're going to yarn over. So now you have 2 loops on your hook, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through both of those loops. So we're going to do that again. Insert into the chain. We're going to yarn over, 2 loops, and then we're going to pull through both. And then you're just going to finish this all the way across until you have 12 stitches. Okay, so we're down to the last 2 stitches here. So I'll just show you again. So you're going to insert your hook. You're going to yarn over. You got 2 loops, yarn over, and then pull through again. And this is our last chain. So yarn over again, and pull through both loops. So I'm going to count my stitches here. So I have, I'm just going to pull this out so you can see here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then that's my 12th. So it is important to count your stitches, especially when you're first learning, because you can miss a stitch. And once that happens, the work that you create becomes crooked, or it like starts to close in and gets narrower and narrower. So once you get to the end here, you have the option, you can chain 1, which I always do. You don't necessarily have to when you're using single crochet. You don't need to chain 1. Just it's personal preference, I guess, and how you like your border. It's just something that I've become used to doing, so I always just chain 1. So once I do that, then I turn my work. So now I'm going to work on this side. And again, I'm just going to do, this time I'm going to put my stitch marker, I think, in at the end there, just so I can show you what I mean. So this is actually the last stitch here. So it does kind of, kind of starts to like blend in with the edge here, which is why I think it gets lost a lot of time. So if you put that in there, then you know that you need to insert into that one. Okay, so now we have across here, we have what look like V's. So we're going to enter in through both of these strands of yarn that create this V. So you're going to insert, yarn over, pull up 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through. So again, we're going to insert our hook in there, yarn over again, and pull through both loops. So once again, we're going to do that until we get to the end here. So I am using cotton yarn, which is a little stiffer than using acrylic, which is another common type of yarn that you would use. And it depends on your hooks too. People have preferences on the hooks that they use. I'll show you a variety in another vlog of different hooks that I have. But these ones with the rubber on them tend to be my go-to and my favorite ones that I use. The only thing that I find with these is that the head on the hook is more rounded, so sometimes it's not as easy to poke through the loops. So here we are, we're at our last 2 stitches. So here's the stitch marker here and that 12th stitch. So we're going to yarn over. Sorry, we're going to insert the hook and then yarn over, and then yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. Now we can remove this, so we know now that that is a stitch there. So again, insert your hook. And it's really tight down at this end, so it is a little harder to get the hook in there. And then we're going to yarn over and pull through both loops. And that there is your single crochet. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more to come. I think my next video I'll probably do the half double crochet and the double crochet. And then upcoming videos, I'd like to do one on the magic circle, because I know even I've seen on a lot of the crochet groups that I follow, there's a lot of requests asking, how to do the magic circle or magic ring. You use that a lot when you're working in the round, especially with like if you're making toy animals, or even like dishcloths, or some of the face scrubbies that I make are always started with the magic circle. I do know that being left-handed, there is kind of, when you search YouTube videos for left-handed crochet, you get different variations, because we as left-handers seem to come up with different ways of holding our yarn. Like how you see me hold it here, and that is something that will kind of just come to you. You'll kind of get your own little, setup on how you like to hold your yarn, because everybody is different. So don't get discouraged if you're watching this and you're trying to hold your yarn the same way that I am. That may not be what works for you. It's just what I've become accustomed to and what works for me. So the same thing kind of goes with learning like the different stitches. So I'm hoping that, there's people out there that can see how I do it, and maybe they're similar in the ways that they will end up crocheting, or it just might make it easier for them to learn. So I think the magic circle would be a good one to go into, because it is rather difficult and it can be quite confusing. Just watching how it's done, so I'll repeat it like over and over again. But yeah, so this is the single crochet. I hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and again, please stay tuned. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn your alerts on so that you can be notified when I post my next video. Take care, be safe, be well.